Hello everyone. Today's video we're going to be doing is one of the apex predators of Tyrannosaurids, and that is the most famous Tyrannosaurus Rex, or T-Rex. Now, for its environment and habitat, they live in different ecosystems, like inland and coastal, subtropical, and semi-arid plains, forests near rivers, in areas where open and full of prey. Speaking of which, it is commonly in every video of T-Rex versus V-Rex. It is said that the V-Rex is much stronger and superior to their relative. And by commonly, I mean quite often. Now, T-Rex has gone through many studies throughout its history. So, let's start with this. Alright, its speed. Now, for the running speed for T-Rex was mostly around 9 meters per second, 32 kilometers per hour, 20 miles per hour, but as low as 4.5 to 6.8 meters per second, 16 to 24 kilometers per hour, or 10 to 15 miles per hour, and as high as 20 meters per second. But it is very unlikely that T-Rex would run that fast because T-Rex was bulky and heavy carnivore. So it is unlikely to run very fast at all compared to other theropods like Carnotaurus or Giganotosaurus. But there are some research have relied on various estimates techniques because while there are many tracks of large theropods walking, none show evidence of running. But today, it is accepted that the maximum speed of T-Rex is 10 to 25 miles per hour. So, that's its T-Rex's maximum speed would be limited by the strength of its bones because the animal was so heavy. But it would ambush only for short speed, short burst of speed. It has been calculated that it preferred walking speed and is reported to be 1.28 meters per second, 4.6 kilometers per hour, or 2.9 miles per hour while walking. Reduce their energy expenditure by choosing certain step rhythms at their body points. But it didn't have to go fast. If their prey was weak or injured, too weak to defend themselves, it would take advantage of it. And it is hypothesized that T-Rex was capable of making relatively quick turns and could likely pivot its body more quickly when it close to its prey, or that while turning, brain and senses. Now, T-Rex shared the heightened sensory abilities of other coelurosaurs, highlighting relatively rapid and coordinated eye and head movements, and enhanced ability to sense low frequency sounds, which would allow tyrannosaurs to track prey movements from long distances and enhance sense of smell. And T-Rex had great binocular vision range of 55 degrees, surpassing that of modern hawks. And its and high depth precision perception of T-Rex may have been due to the prey it had to hunt. Nothing that it lived to hunt, such as Triceratops, Ankylosaurs, and Hadrosaurs. So, in contrast, Acrocanthosaurus had limited depth perception because they hunted large sauropods, which were relatively rare during the time of Tyrannosaurus. T-Rex had very large olfactory bulbs and olfactory nerves relative to their brain size. The organs responsible for a heightened sense of smell. This suggests that the sense of smell was highly developed and implies that Tyrannosaurs could detect carcasses by scent alone across great distances. The sense of smell in Tyrannosaurs may have been comparable to modern vultures, which use sense sight to track carcasses for scavenging. And somewhat unusually among theropods, T-Rex had a very long cocula, which is the inner ear. The length of it is often related to hearing accordingly, or at least importance of hearing in behavior, implying that hearing was particularly important since to Tyrannosaurs. Specifically, the data suggests that T-Rex here heard best in the low frequency range, and that low frequency sounds were an important part of Tyrannosaur behavior. And for its brain, now, based on reptiles and birds as well as an estimate for the ratio of cerebrum to brain mass, it has concluded that T-Rex had relatively largest brain of all adult non-avian dinosaurs, with the exception of certain small dinosaurs like Bambiraptor, Ornithomimus, and, surprisingly, Ornithomimus. The study found that Tyrannosaurus' relative brain size were still within the range of modern reptiles. Being at the being at most 2 standard deviation above mean of non-avian reptile EQ's estimate for the ratio of cerebral mass to brain mass would range from 47.5 to 49.53%. According to this study, this is more than lowest estimate for extant birds, 44.6%, but still close to typical ratio of the smallest sexually mature alligators, which range from 45.9 to 47.9%. And T-Rex had cognitive abilities similar to crocodiles or lizards, and not as smart as baboons or humans. There is evidence that T-Rex was still intelligent. T-Rex forebrain has 3.3 billion neurons, which is similar to the number of neurons in modern baboons. But it's still a debate to this day about its intelligence and IQ. For its behavior. Now, it is suggested that T-Rex may have hunted in packs, comparing T-Rex to related species, Tarbosaurus, Albertosaurus. Now, additional support of Tyrannosaurid gregariousness can be found in fossilized trackways from Upper Cretaceous, left by 3 Tyrannosaurids traveling in the same direction. According to this, the evidence for pack hunting in Tarbosaurus and Albertosaurus is weak, and based on group skeletal remains, for which alternate explanation may imply, such as drought or flood forcing dinosaurs to die together in one place. Other researchers have speculated that instead of large theropod social group, some of these finds represent behavior more akin to Komodo dragons, like mobbing carcasses. Even going as far as, say, to true pack hunting behavior may not exist in any non-avian dinosaurs due to its rarity in modern predators. Well, they either hunted as a mated pair or as siblings. Or hunted as a family group. And feeding strategy. Now, most except the T-Rex was both an active predator and a scavenger, like most large carnivores. It would have preyed upon hadrosaurs, ceratopsians, and ankylosaurs, and possibly sauropods. Now, T-Rex had the most powerful bite of any terrestrial animal that ever lived. For the adult, its bite force is around 35,000 to 57,000 newtons. 7,868 to 12,814 pounds per square inch. This allows it to crush bone, getting into the nutritious bone marrow. And its maximum jaw gape of around 80 degrees, a necessary adaptation for a wide range of jaw angles to power the creature's strong bite. Now, a debate exists, however, about whether a T-Rex was primarily a predator or a scavenger. That debate originated in 1917, which argued that large theropods were pure scavengers because Gorgosaurus's teeth show hardly any rare. Now, it is speculated that it was a predator like modern large predators. It would readily scavenge or steal another predator's kill if it had the opportunity. Tyrannosaur's arms are short when compared to other known predators. Horner argues that the arms were too short to make the necessary gripping force to hold onto prey. Now, Thomas argued that there are plenty of modern-day predators that do not use their forelimbs to hunt. Like example, wolves, hyenas, and even secretary birds, as well as other extinct animals thought to be predators that do not have their forelimbs, like forest rockets, terror birds. And T-Rex's foot pads. I mean, in the movies, you can hear it stomp, but their foot pads are cushioned, muffling every step, which help them silently walk silently their steps, sneaking up on prey. Yeah, they can move very stealthily. I mean, you won't hear it, but it will see you. And furthermore, there are evidence that Tyrannosaurs attacked dinosaurs, discovered a pair of hadrosaur cardivertebrae that found a T-Rex tooth embedded in the bone in Edmontosaurus. But Edmontosaurus survived a T-Rex encounter, and it embedded The tooth was not a fully grown T-Rex, meaning either a subadult tried to hunt an Allosaurus, but unfortunately it didn't succeed. So what happened that the Allosaurus escaped. And even Triceratops even had bite marks from T-Rex, with T-Rex's tooth marks on Triceratops' brow horn. The bitten horn is also broken, with new horn bone with bone growth after break. Since the Triceratops wounds healed, it is likely that Triceratops survived the encounter and managed to overcome T-Rex. But the T-Rex would have to bite off the horn of Triceratops first, then try to take it down. While the adults may have hunted large prey, but what about the juveniles? Well, the juveniles will prefer to hunt small to mid-sized animals, because appear that T-Rex to have been specialized to crush and likely ingest the bones of their prey. And for juveniles, they lacked the bone crushing like their parents, but they have serrated teeth. They would bite from the front limbs and legs. It will cause the prey to bleed and weaken. And for the juveniles, will go for the kill. There is evidence, like for example, the dueling dinosaurs, where there's a Triceratops and a juvenile T-Rex that died together. And apparently that juveniles would subadult and including a tooth from Tyrannosaur embedded within Triceratops. It has been suggested that T-Rex was a high-risk predator that also attacked massive and dangerous prey. This as a reason Tyrannosaurs die young. It would indicate that the fossil evidence of animals that surviving Tyrannosaur attacks that show these animals were at least healthy enough to heal from their injuries, even suggesting the possibility that some of them may have been able to kill the attacker. Triceratops were probably Tyrannosaurus's most challenging and dangerous prey, with horns and parrot-like beaks that could use for defense. And the T-Rex did not attack horned animals such as Triceratops head on, because that would have maximized the danger while lessening the chance of success. Instead, T-Rex would attack these prey from behind. the T-Rex would have to bite from the frill at the back of the Triceratops. Or they would bite the coniferolaris, which is the tail and femur thigh bone in the muscle at the pelvic limb of most animals possessing a tail. Once it's been bitten by T-Rex, it will cause the animal to have excruciating pain at that thigh bone. Once it's disabled and cannot run, the T-Rex will go for the kill. Like modern animals do today, they would target the legs to disable their prey from escaping. Like modern lions do today, they always go for the legs to disable their prey from escaping. It has been proposed that T-Rex could use a hunting strategy similar in concept to cow tipping against Triceratops, where the T-Rex would ambush and knock the Triceratops over to fall on its side, which will pin the prey and eat it alive, similar to that of birds of prey, that they use talon, their talons to pin down their prey and eat them alive, or very darkly rip off the head of their prey to get their nutritious meat at the neck. And also, it is also discussed that defenses of hadrosaurs may have been employed against tyrannosaurids like T-Rex. The duck-billed dinosaurs may have been able to kick out with its heavy foot hind limbs when faced with a predator. Some duckbills were large and may have been able to use their size for protection. Otherwise, the only apparent option for them to escape was to flee at maximum speed while attempting to land kicks on its pursuer. The hadrosaur's front limbs for locomotion may have been able to outturn tyrannosaurids. Hadrosaurs may have been gregarious, lived in groups, and may have prioritized trying to lose itself in a herd. Hadrosaurs were also lower slung than their predators and may have therefore been able to use their front limbs to push themselves through heavy vegetation, meaning making it difficult for their predators to deliver effective bites. T-Rex may have had more endurance than hadrosaurs, such as Edmontosaurus. Through biomechanics studies have shown Edmontosaurus was the faster animal. Its greater speed was only useful over short distances, while T-Rex, being better equipped for pursuit, likely would be able to, if able to, keep the animal in sight, outpace and eventually subdue the hadrosaur. Once the herbivore is tired, such a strategy would save valuable energy while still allowing the T-Rex to actively chase down and kill its intended target. Like I said before, the T-Rex would target the Commorphodiolis, a thigh muscle, to disable their prey locomotor system. That would cause most rapid death by damaging the thigh muscle and major blood vessels. Once disabled, it cannot run or move because of its thigh muscle has been bitten. They would eat pretty much anything. Ceratopsians, hadrosaurs, ankylosaurs, and for the juveniles, they would hunt the most dangerous ones, Pachycephalosaurus, Ornithomimus, Struthiomimus, and possibly even Alamosaurus. And they would even eat one of their own. There is evidence that T-Rex did have a tendency of cannibalism. And what would T-Rex compete with? V-Rex. Now, they would compete with V-Rex for the same prey. Now, for V-Rex's size, its length was around 15.2 meters and its height 6 meters, and its weight 19.4 tons. They were the top predators. Now, in spite of their size, they can turn a surprisingly burst of speed for short periods, clocking in up to 25 miles per hour for limited stretches in pursuit of prey. And it's not known what their bite forces are, but in their skulls they've lost the bone crushing jaws like from their ancestors. For its senses, it is debatable that most, as their behaviors seem to change dramatically from searching their prey to pursuing them. Their sense of smell, while less aggressive state, seem to be limited to an extent. And intelligence are somewhat limited, but not entirely primitive. juvenile V-Rexes, they would compete with juvenile T-Rexes for the same prey. And unfortunately, the V-Rex would go extinct, leaving the T-Rex to hunt any prey it wanted. Ferocetus, Brontosaurus baxteri, Lagiocristus, and others. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that T-Rex's size. Well, there are many specimens of T-Rex that could reach that much, reach large sizes like Sue. Sue measured 12.3 to 12.4 meters, 40.4 to 40.7 feet long, and it was 3.66, 3.96 meters, 12 to 13 feet tall at the hips. And its body mass have been estimated approximately 8.4 to 8.46 metric tons. But Scotty, it is reported that it's measured 13 meters, 43 feet in length. And for its mass, 8.87 metric tons. Not every adult T-Rex specimens recover as big historically. Average adult mass estimate has varied widely over the years. And there's a recent study in 2024 that world record sized T-Rex specimens, one in 100,000 individuals, may have reached lengths and weight exceeding 15 meters, 49 feet, and 15,000 kilograms, 33,000 pounds, respectively, though no individuals close to size in ever been found. The study also found that there was little evidence of size-based sexual dimorphism in T-Rex. But what about Ed Cope, the T-Rex? Well, it's not known what its size is because its only fossil of it is a femur, and it is around 10.6 to 12.4 tons. So, like I said before, V-Rex would go extinct. So, yeah, I could see a survival on Skull Island. it will be successful, and it will have to evolve a large body or take different ecological roles, niche partitioning. And that's it for this video. Like and subscribe, and see you later, guys.